Hey guys, welcome back. We are on our last match for today. The winner of this is going to proceed into the FSL Vietnam finals that will be played tomorrow. So it's going to be a very exciting one, and on your blue side you have Box Ladies. Today they've been more or less undefeated, and on the red side we have the ladies from Ravenclaw, who I've been told used to play on a team called FFQ Lo-Fi. FFQ, of course, is the VCSA team built around QTV. So both these teams with a good amount of heritage and good amount of background coming in, looking to claim a spot in the finals for tomorrow.
Alright, let's take a look at the bands real quick, because I think LeBlanc, Zoe, and Ramus aren't exactly your go-to bands for a regular standard meta. I think maybe this is a result of adaptations from games previous to this.
And not to mention that both teams have had adequate time to watch their opponents play, so this is like an adaptation, like a day's worth of metas. They're just banning and adapting on the fly. Jarvan locked in, no surprise there. We were talking about how Jarvan has been pretty much 100% pick ban today, and this is going to continue in that trend. Meanwhile, on the opposite side, we see a Xayah Sejuani locked in. Xayah early lock-in is puzzling if you're not going to do Xayah Rakan. I feel like the priority is kind of shifted a bit. Maybe they could have gotten something like Sejuani Aatrox, or maybe even Sejuani Aurelia, things like that, which gives you a bit more presence in lane, but it will be the Xayah Sejuani locked in for them.
Yeah, well, now if you have a question for Box Ladies now, do you pick the Rakan away from them, or do you give it to them instead? Because, it is a pretty good combo, Xayah Rakan, obviously, but it looks like they're just going to go for Poppy. Rakan, maybe? Yes, no?
I feel like if they do Rakan here, then the AD carry that you pair with Rakan has to be something that supplements his engage potential, at the same time a very safe champion. Instead, they opt for the Nami instead. And once again, we were remarking about how Enchantress supports are more prevalent in the FSL than you expect, and I'm not surprised considering KZ is noted to play that Nami quite a bit. She's a fan of these Enchantress supports. There was an article out actually that I read yesterday. It was on Vietnamese. I had to translate it on Google Translate. I got the gist of it, and in fact they were stating each individual play styles of sort of the players of Box Ladies. So for the mid lane, she likes the easy wave clear push sort of mages. On the bot lane, it's Enchantresses, and on the top side is the tanks.
Right, well, I mean, Enchantresses have actually been rising in popularity. If you look at the stats from, I think it was goal.gg.
Right,
and we do see the Janna. Interesting that they're not actually going for the Rakan though.
I feel like if they gone for the Xayah Rakan, yes, that gives them more early priority and strength in the bot lane, but Rakan into Nami is kind of tricky because before you could instant R flash in for a guaranteed knockup. Now that doesn't really exist anymore, so there's a window for Nami to actually counter engage you with the tidal wave, right? And basically when you all in, your backline gets caught by a tidal wave and you can't follow up, and the Rakan instantly dies. So I think nerfs to Rakan have seen him dip in popularity quite a bit, which might explain or justify the lack of Rakan in this game.
Okay, well, now if your box you have Nami, you want to pair her with an ADC. Well, Ravenclaw over here is actually pinching that pool of
really
ADCs
smart.
that are good with the Nami. I think one thing we can actually go for here is maybe the Jinx. I've said I don't think Jinx is actually that good. I think she's overrated. But I think with Nami, I think it's actually not that bad of a pick.
In this comp, actually, Jinx might excel quite a bit, considering you have tools to keep... There you go. You have tools to keep her safe, as well as keep their backline away from your front line. So if you're fighting front to back on both sides, Jarvan Poppy actually makes it an unfair fight. You Cataclysm the front line, you Keeper's Verdict the back line, all of a sudden it's 4v5, and their front line can't really do anything, right? That buys so much space for the Jinx to just auto-attack, get free hits, get the resets. And I think ideal situation, and you point out Jinx, is complemented perfectly with the Vel'Koz here as well, because now you contain the front line, you're doing true damage as well with Vel'Koz.
Yeah, one thing when you have the poppies, that is a very crucial ultimate. You disengage the enemy, so then you can make it, like you said, an unfair fight. And I think when you put Poppy in the hands of Ren, we've seen Ren play Poppy in the previous game on the Vietnam stream, and that was a pretty damn good Poppy.
Yeah, and Poppy in 9.14 saw a lot of buffs, and I'm saying a lot, right? The moment she deflects any dashes with her W, it roots the opponent for 2 seconds. The moment you get rooted, that's done. You lose the trade, And we saw on the opposite side, the last pick was actually a Zed coming in to counter pick the Vel'Koz. I think a very greedy pick, and one that forces the Zed player, the onus is on the Zed, right, to snowball himself or herself in this case. Otherwise, it just loses the impact of the pick.
Yeah, but I think this rationale is, Vel'Koz's not exactly a very mobile champion. Immobile mage, pick a slippery assassin into him. I think if the Zed plays well, should be a good should be good.
The reason I don't like mid lane melee into range matchups is because Glacial Augment now is super popular, right?
Yeah.
And when you do have Glacial Augment on a range champion playing into melee, it makes most of your skill shots reliably hit. Like, all you have to do is auto and then try and land your skill shots after. Especially on Vel'Koz versus Zed, you can auto Tectonic Shift into the Q or the W. It's guaranteed procs. So I think that is a direction they could choose to go for if they want to play this matchup a bit more aggressively. Otherwise, you just play the safe way, Arcane Comet, take Barrier, and just, take the D, get pushed in, lose your priority.
Alright, well, we look at the mid lane. I think one other factor that we have to take a look is actually the jungle. We've seen Jarvan 4 and Sejuani go up against each other.
Oh, yeah,
today.
yeah. That's been a popular, jungle matchup, right?
Yeah, and I think the thing that we have noticed throughout the entire day is that the more proactive jungler tends to win. Doesn't matter if you're going for a counter gang or you're initiating gang yourself. If you try to make ganks happen, most of the time your team ends up coming out on top.
Yeah, I think fortune favors the bold. That's sort of like the mantra for today, right? If you act first, even if you cheese out a gank, it actually forces your opponents onto the back foot and gives you more opportunities to exploit them later on. We saw the nearly level 2 cheese coming in earlier today. I was like, wait, that is not normal. No one does that. But it paid off because it burned Flash Barrier in the mid lane. Did that again in the top lane, burn another Flash. You're constantly having presence on the map.
Yep, so let's actually take a look at where the junglers are actually going to force their pressure on.
Right.
Because I think that is actually the most important part of this game that we should look at.
Yeah, if I were the Jarvan in this case on the blue side, Nami and Jinx, I mean, there are tools for you to CC up. I wouldn't necessarily hit the lane as much. I would think that attention should be paid towards the mid side to make sure Zed doesn't get too overeager. So I'll split my time between mid and bot. More focus on mid so that Zed doesn't play too aggressively.
Yeah, I mean, Fed Zed is not exactly the most fun thing to play
It's
against.
super unfun as well because you have Jinx, and if the Fed Zed deletes your Jinx, that's like 70% of your late game damage eradicated, right? So you really have to be careful about curbing this Zed's enthusiasm, I think.
So when you have that Zed, then do you I think you should put the Poppy on anti-Zed duty.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If the Zed try to shadow in, instantly knock him away. That's I think the most important thing that Poppy can do.
Like in that situation, how you play the team fight out is you have Nami and Poppy next to the Jinx, right? You just peel back. The moment they try all in your Jinx, hell, you E, you R, whatever it takes to peel the Zed off. And the moment he's dead, that's a window for you to turn the fight around because then their assassination capability is done. They also have to fight front and back, and their front and back is not as good. It's severely lacking when you're looking at their composition. It's really good at peeling, it's really good at diving. It's not as good as fighting front and back.
Oh, we're actually taking a look at I think all of the matchups across the map except for top lane. I actually don't remember what.
I think
Poppy
it was
against
Poppy into Aatrox. Yeah.
Aatrox.
So similarly, very good at peeling back and kiting. Very good at diving the back line. Not so good at fighting front and back because if you're hitting the sweet spot Qs on the tanks, that's like you always want to hit them on the squishies instead.
Yeah, actually, in the lane though, I think I'm gonna give the advantage over the Poppy.
Okay, especially with the current changes, I think definitely Poppy because for Aatrox to hit his sweet spot Qs, he has to use his dashes quite a lot. A Poppy can actually deflect majority of the aggression coming in.
It's not gonna be very fun for the Aatrox. I think it's just gonna. You try to come in, I'm gonna block that, and I'm gonna knock you into a wall
block
effectively.
that, root you and knock you into the wall, proc my grasp on the end, and just walk away.
Yep.
And that's a fuse bad trait to the end. For viewers who are unsure what patch this is, you can take a look at the bottom left of your screen. It says version 9.14. So once again, this is the extremely strong Poppy, where if you try and dash into her, you will be paying the price.
Very interesting. I think Aatrox is going for the electrocute, so he actually wants that extra damage instead of something like a sustain.
I think this is really greedy though, because if you're playing Aatrox with electrocute, it just signals to me that you want to pop up short burst damage traits instead of the Conqueror, which signals longer traits, right? In this situation, I would have preferred the Conqueror just so he could play the late game, side lane, split push more. With electrocute, you kind of fall off unless you start to snowball.
Yeah, a few interesting decisions coming from the Aatrox. I don't think, if you want to try to deal damage, do you really think you're going to be able to proc that electrocute on the targets that you want to against a Jarvan 4 and a Poppy? I don't think that's... Yeah.
Even in this late game stage, you're going to be looking at the Jarvan to spring more damage onto the backline. So I 100% agree with you. I think there's some interesting choices coming in. Operative word here being interesting.
University.
But that's it, Ravenclaw, they still excel at peeling back with the Janna, Desire. There are multiple options for them to just kite back in these fights. See, Box Ladies can fight their way front or back and look to take this game, of course. The winner of this, the grand prize for winning today, this final match, will be to proceed into the finals tomorrow. Okay, best of 3, unhindered. Wake up fresh, maybe get some solo queue practice and then start your best of 3 to qualify for FSL Elite as the Vietnamese representatives.
Yep, not to mention you can spend that time, scouting your opponent.
For sure.
So that's definitely a big advantage. One thing I want to point out though, it's the first time all day that we've had our scoreboard aligned.
I think the previous game was aligned as well, yeah, but that game was way too messy for us to pay all too much attention to it.
Yeah.
That game almost had a kill in a minute, I think.
Very entertaining. Let's see if this one lives up to that. As we know, Vietnam is of course very bloody.
That's what I was about to
region.
say, Chufan. It's not Vietnamese League of Legends if they're not fighting a kill a minute. Right now, venturing into the jungle are the mid lane, top lane duos of Box Ladies, trying to get some vision down the Raptor camps as is usual. So Johnny here looking like she wants to start on the red buff. Meanwhile, the Jarvan Ali here on her own red buff, so it's gonna be a mirrored start here.
Yeah, shouldn't be too much coming out from the Poppy Vel'Koz. Might be a bit of cheese to get more vision, but I actually don't know why they're hanging out there so long.
I think
they're fine,
the thing about this start though coming from Ravenclaw is that you actually don't know where the jungler really started.
Yep.
Sure, there's a ward there, but both the top lane and bot lane are late to lane, so there's actually no information to be gained here for Box Ladies. Meanwhile, Ravenclaw have full knowledge that this Jarvan started on the bot side of the map.
Wait, hold on. I think Box Ladies actually saw Sejuani at Raptors.
Right, but she could have, walked down with the time left, so strategically, there's actually no 100% confirmed siding of the Sejuani on red, whereas the AD carry and support being late to lane and Poppy being early means that definitely, Jarvan started bot side.
Alright, fair enough. I think, well, let's look at the junglers then, because they're starting on opposite sides of the map. Who do you think is actually going to go for, that sort of high impact gank to get the ball rolling?
Right now, the trade going down. Answer your question after this, because a lot of damage down to the Xayah already, and the Janna as well. One more attack, but will finish her off. The heal is still available from the Xayah, but they decide not to go in for the damage. Ignite expanded, but no Summoner Spells blown on the opposite side. So great knowledge there from Ravenclaw, knowing their limits and testing it fully.
I think great use of the level 2 power spike that Box Ladies got. They got it and instantly went in. And I think that's something that we haven't seen a whole lot today.
Yeah, so with that though, they will transition to the jungle, and the ward that was placed earlier by Ravenclaw is still there. It hasn't been spotted out, so there's full knowledge of this take here from the Jarvan. What do you want to do about this is the question, because the Smite Battle, not available, but the bubble will catch the Sejuani, and that's a fuse bad moment if you ever had one. Having to walk away now as the Zed comes in for the play off the back. Vel'Koz with the mid lane priority though will not be walking in.
Yeah, not much Ravenclaw could have done there. Box Ladies, they had the priority over the blue buff. They went in and they sort of just took it.
Yeah.
And Sejuani didn't really have enough health to contest, so...
It really should have been a situation of bot lane and mid lane staying put because they were getting shoved in. There was almost nothing that Sejuani could do to keep her blue buff there. If a fight broke out, worst case scenario, you lose all the wave that's being shoved up. Best case scenario, you get a kill and you still lose the wave.
I mean, they did lose the wave, but at this point, it doesn't really matter that much. The CS discrepancy isn't that huge just yet. Meanwhile, I think it's just a bit of a slow game from both sides.
Yeah, taking this a bit more measured early on. Box Ladies and Ravenclaw still holding pretty even in terms of gold. Jarvan now pathing towards the top side. Remember that he has that EXP lead when it comes to total camps taken once he clears, or once she clears her top side of the jungle.
Man, these trades, man.
Yeah, it's starting to go pretty in favor of the Vel'Koz, although running out of mana is the mid lane for Box Ladies. The tectonic shift was enough to dissuade the Zed from getting a bit too frisky though.
Yeah, at this point Zed is just waiting for Vel'Koz's mana bar to run out, because that is something that you have to take note of if you're playing a mage mid laner against someone without mana, is that if you run out of mana, you have to back or just stay back, I guess.
Oh, getting drawn in here and getting denied though. There you can see the grounded effect coming in because Aatrox's Q counts as a mini dash of sorts. So if you try to Q into the range of Poppy's W, you actually get denied quite a bit. She shoved the big wave in and we'll be looking to recall here while Aatrox has to deal with it. And looking at the goal early on, it's only a small lead in favor of the jungle and AD carry of Box Ladies.
Yeah, 77.6 to 7.4, nothing really to write home about at the moment. Like I said, I think all lanes actually... Oh, as I say that before.
Yeah, you might have jinxed it there, True Fun. There's a lot of damage is coming in. Now, Desire might have to be careful with the spacing. She still has the heal available. Flash coming in means that a return flash has to be blown. A great zap across. Isn't really going to find the damage because the shield coming in is more than enough. Hold on. Observer swapping over. Not sure what's going on here as the Ignite is ticking onto the Poppy. Auto attacks might finish her off. Well, Desire walks away. Teleport coming in. Oh, man. This is going all over the place.
This is way too greedy, guys.
It is multiple teleports being committed to find the kills on the bottom side. I think Box Ladies overreaching, hand caught in the cookie jar, and now will pay the price.
Hey, we did talk about, questionable decision making that a lot of these teams have actually shown. I think that's a prime example of that. You've already disengaged. Why is Poppy going in? And even then, why is the Vel'Koz teleporting in when the Poppy has already made it out?
Yeah, I have to agree with you 100% True Fun. There was a decision making question coming in. We have to call into a suspicion the idea of Box Ladies and their shot calling, because it is Bong, the AD carry for ladies, Box Ladies, who is the captain of this team and ostensibly the shot caller as well. I think it was a heavy commitment on them to try and secure the kill, to give the bot lane the advantage. But overall, with all the resources expanded, they still get the Inferno Drake, which is not too bad of a trade.
But you do sort of trade both your teleports for it, so you're giving up a bunch of map pressure.
Yeah.
Luckily, at the moment, it's still pretty early, so there isn't many objectives that you can take. So perhaps Box Ladies might actually just get away with it this time.
Looking at the lineup from Ravenclaw as well, this is a composition where teleport, I feel, doesn't have as strong of an impact as you want it to on the opposite side. Because if you get caught by Zed, you get caught by Sejuani. They're going to burst you down with the CC and damage available. So teleport actually doesn't have that big of an effect until we talk about the later game side lane split push.
What?
Oh, solo kill on the top side? Okay. I think it was a level 6 spike that was hit there by the Poppy, which gave her the inclination to go in and get the kill. And with that, they will find their first early advantage on the top side. Teleports be damned.
Yeah, I think there's just something you can do on Poppy. You just... Oh, never mind.
Great bubble with the Flame Chompers will mean that she gets the resets, and guess who is excited? It is the AD carry who gets a double kill, and Bong now popping off. Box Ladies shooting off to a great start here. 7.5 minutes in.
Oh.
Not over yet as the damage comes in once more. Observers pining over onto the Sejuani, but we want to see the mid lane now. The death mark, it's enough. And now magic shield on top of that for Sacco. Want to keep her alive.
And suddenly a slow early game has transitioned into 4 kills in about 40 seconds. Suddenly the gold lead has actually ballooned to about 2k towards Box Ladies. Certainly by no means a huge amount, but definitely enough for them to get the ball rolling.
Yeah, just I want to point out something though. Look at the somersault. Hold on, top solo kill once more. Observer is not having the best day of his life today. It might just be on directed camera. Maybe that's why we're missing all these kills. But the goal, or rather the kill score on the top lane is 1-1 apiece, both solo kills. Before that happened, I want to point out something.
Sure.
The mid lane for Box Ladies on the Vel'Koz did not go for barrier, instead going for the teleport. And this is not what you normally see in a mage versus assassin matchup. You want to go for barrier to withstand the all-in pressure coming in, and once the ultimate's down, you sort of bully the lane back in your favor. In this case, no barrier means Deathmark is an instant free kill, and Ravenclaw can now push the mid lane advantage. This Zed getting off to a rip-roaring start.
Yeah, that's a little greedy from Vel'Koz saying, hey, Zed, I don't think you can actually kill me. I'm gonna, instead of taking Barrier to stop that, I'm gonna take Teleport and hopefully help the rest of my team across the map. Which, something that you can't really do if you're being killed by Zed over and over again. Right now he's 0-1-0, hopefully he can stop that.
Oh, going all the way onto the Sejuani, flashing away is the jungle for Ravenclaw, but a lot of pressure down onto her already, flashing forward the Conqueror proc. Now they might be looking to turn this fight as there is no Deathmark available, there is no Ignite available, and they will be looking to finish off the Zed. Meanwhile, in the river, Poppy versus Aatrox, the battle of bruisers, trading back and forth, missing the first Q, missing the second, the third is not going to come out at all as she slams him into the wall.
Someone needs to tell these two people that they are top laners, not junglers. They've been skirmishing in this jungle river for like half the game.
And you can see right there, right, the effect of the Poppy on the Aatrox. Just because she has Grasp of the Undying, these long-term trades are actually going out pretty well in her favor, as a lot of damage is coming in onto the Janna. She has to pop the flash and the heal from her buddy in the bot lane as well. Oh, Monsoon being used to heal up. Very interesting here coming in.
Yeah, well, let's look at Poppy again, because in that fight, I think there's something you can do as Poppy, because
they're not gonna let you speak
mind.
too fun.
All
Get
right.
excited here, Bong. She's jumping in. She's leaping in for the kill. She wants the reset, and she will get it. This is Johnny walking in is just a courtesy as they push the wave in and find a double kill.
That's just way too much disrespect from Ravenclaw. They did not respect the Jinx's ability to give enough damage before Sejuani could make it in the bot lane. In the end, they do pay for it with their lives and possibly this bot lane tower.
Yeah, they're probably gonna lose bot tier 1 right now as suddenly we climb to a kill a minute, and this is the Vietnamese special. Hold on, mid lane box ladies just BMing, throwing down the dance.
Is it BMing if your opponent is killing the wave? Though?
That is true. That's just a distraction technique. We'll call it a legit strategy right now.
Sure. Observers really want us to look at the gold today. There's actually not much of a discrepancy, except look
For
at
the
the
80
bot
carries?
lane.
Hello?
Yeah. Except for that, right? 2k gold lead
2.3k, dude. That is a
towards
BF
the
sword.
Jinx.
That's a BF sword and a pickaxe. Jesus. That is nasty.
Alright, what's happening now then?
Observers randomly pressing buttons as we suddenly shift to teamfight mode. I think this is a hint, right? They're saying like there's gonna be a teamfight breaking out soon.
It's Vietnam. There's always going to be a team fight breaking out soon.
So it's apt that they leave it on this mode, right?
Just keep it on this screen for the
Yeah.
rest of the game.
It's
You'll be fine.
That meme with the black guy tapping his forehead, the roll safe meme.
Roll safe. Well, they are going to take another Infernal from box. That's 2 on the board for them. That damage is actually going to start stacking up, really.
It will start to get to a point where the damage that they have will overwhelm them in fights, because we're talking about Jinx as a late game insurance.
Yep.
Dude, she's really reaching that point where she's mid game insurance now. She's cashing out early.
No, I don't think it's even mid-game insurance. If they try to fight right now, that Jinx will win them that team fight.
Looking for the Rift Herald as the next objective, because to be frank, there's nothing much
Yep.
else that they can look for right now. Bot tier 1 has been taken down, mid is in a stalemate of sorts, and they want this Rift Herald to open up the map a bit more.
Yeah, I usually don't like, seeing Rift Herald being taken at any point of the game, really. Like I said, it's a tempo sink. But I think this is one of the times where you actually can take
Right.
it, because you've got nothing better to do. So you might as well just take it and rotate top, hope for, I don't know, this kind of gang, I guess.
Sitting opposite in the top side is the Sejuani, who will spot out 3 members. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Deathmark coming is not enough. Yeah, man, the kill steal coming in. Lifeform Disintegration Ray being used by the Vel'Koz to get the kill for herself in the mid lane. Meanwhile, top side, the gank coming in from the Janna, who is not necessarily the best champion to gank with. Rift Herald being popped in the mid lane is going to secure mid tier 1. And the battle will ensue in the mid lane as it charges once more.
I'm sorry, did that Zed just get 1v1 by the Jinx?
Yeah, she most definitely did. Tried to go in for the all-in, got turned around on, and the Vel'Koz saying, you know what, I want this kill.
Way too much disrespect from Ravenclaw this game, really.
Yeah, they're just not respecting the damage potential of the Jinx, and having to use the Featherstorm and Flash out is the AD carry on the opposite side. They're starting to see the discrepancy in terms of ability between Box Ladies and Ravenclaw, and as mid-inhibitor turret gets chunked down to half of its health, we have to start asking, Trufan, what is the decision making now? What do Ravenclaw do to claw themselves back into the game?
What do Ravenclaw do to claw themselves back into the game? Well, I think, again, you just have to farm. You don't want to take any fights because you're just going to disrespect the Jinx again. Like this.
Oh, having to flash away, not showing the respect means you burn a summon spell. And at that point, when you see the Jinx in the top side, you don't even throw your Q1. You just E away. You don't take that fight
Just
at all.
leave.
Yeah, you leave. You don't even stay nearby. You pop more ender wherever you have to just to run away. And right now, they're looking for this fight. Great keepers ready to knock him back. And now this fight is going to go in favor of Box Ladies as they disengage. Sitting inside this brush here, the Tectonic Plate is going to catch the Sejuani out.
That engage on Jinx was actually not that bad because she was actually running out of mana. But that was a great keeper's verdict to keep the AD carry safe.
Yeah, there was a double bubble at first, and then Poppy is like, I could probably do better. Knocks both of them away, keeps the AD carry safe.
Yeah, it's just really good team fight ability coming in from the side of Box Ladies. I think they're really working together cohesively as a team, even though sometimes their decision making is a little strange.
And I called this early in the broadcast today, right? I was saying how Box Ladies is the team to watch out for because overall they've been playing together for so long. They've been playing together since last year, December, for the Vietnamese Girl Power Championship. You know, they're going up against the likes of EVOS Valkyrie. Unfortunately, they didn't do so well. They didn't place first. It was EVOS Valkyrie that did come in first. But they're coming back guns blazing in this tournament right now. they look like the team to beat. They did take out Evo's Valkyrie earlier in the day, and now they're looking like they want to confirm their position in the finals for tomorrow.
What they want to confirm right now, though, is that Tier 1 tower. You can see that they've rotated their bot side to the top side in hopes to take that tower, and Aatrox is actually just back, so that structure is actually just undefended right now.
Undefended structure against the Jinx with Infinity Edge. Boy, that is every AD carry's fantasy right now. You get the movement speed and be able to push forward and make sure you get some ground covered for your support to get the vision down.
Let's be real though, at this point anything on the map is free real estate for the Jinx.
As long as they move together, you don't get caught out by the CC coming in from Sejuani, I think you should be fine.
Yep, at least now that the observers have actually stopped us back to this view, we can see that the gold lead has actually ballooned to about 9k.
Oh wow, I did not expect that at all.
Which is huge at 15 minutes.
I did not expect that at all. We were stuck in team fight view for like solid 3 minutes.
Does this mean we are going to slow things down a little bit?
I hope not, Trufan. I really hope not, because box ladies are looking super commanding.
Yep.
Aqua Prison is going to find the Sejuani in the jungle, whereas 3 members of Ravenclaw will ship down to the bottom side to try and defend against this Poppy.
Yeah, I think both teams right now, they're going to prioritize the dragon, really.
Dashing away Arctic Assault is going to keep her safe, and like you said, dragon is the next priority here.
Actually not sure which dragon it is.
Why is the Jarvan on top if dragon is up? This is like a question mark to me.
Missing ping.
I feel like... Oh, Mountain Drag, okay.
That's not bad, yeah. I think we've seen a lot of oceans and clouds earlier. So
yeah, we had like, 3 ocean, 1 cloud on the team earlier today?
For like all 3 games, really, honestly.
Yeah. But with that, even though the Jarvan's in the top side, box ladies will secure the dragon for themselves.
Yeah, at this point, Jarvan isn't actually required to take the dragon. They just take it so quickly with this Jinx. Rapid fire, just shooting it down so damn fast.
Jinx now getting the Runaan's Hurricane in her pocket. Pretty stacked in terms of items, 2 core items being picked up already, versus the 0 of the Xayah on the opposite side.
2 core items and tier 2 boots. Xayah hasn't even upgraded hers.
Yeah, this is a poor man Xayah build coming in. Of course, she didn't have the best laning phase.
Yeah, at this point, sorry to say it, but the Xayah isn't going to be very useful in these upcoming fights.
Yeah, you gotta buy her like 8 minutes or something for her to farm up before she even gets to that point.
Yeah, but it's going to be very difficult against, box ladies just relentlessly sieging against all these objectives.
And they should, because they do have a Jinx who is extremely fed, who excels at sieging with her minigun. And pick up structure so quickly just like that.
Yeah, meanwhile, Poppy and Aatrox just having their fun little time at bot lane.
Up here comes the engage onto the Sejuani. The Arctic Assault will get her out, but not enough damage to finish off the Janna on that fight. Lifeform Disintegration Rate brought her down to 10%, but there was not enough damage to finish her off.
Yeah, a little lucky from Ravenclaw, able to get out from that. But I think that they were disrespecting them a little bit once again. If you're this far behind, you shouldn't be that far ahead in your jungle.
Yeah, would have paid for it with much worse, but thankfully a couple of skill shots didn't really find its target there.
At this point, this game is really just a 4v4. Until well, never mind. They're going to bot lane now. They're going to take that turret. It's free.
It's a free turret indeed as they tunnel onto the Aatrox, who has to pop the War Ender to get out of this fight. Tidal Wave is going to come across and sail by to bathe him in a bit. And hold on, Deathmark now onto the AD carry, but they can't find the damage down. They will counter the kill across onto the Zed, and this is what we were talking about. Poppy standing next to the Jinx to peel off any attempt at assassinating the AD carry.
Yeah, way too overzealous from Zed again, just running in and face planting. You see the enemy support, you see the enemy top laner there, and you're just I'm gonna go for this Jinx. I'm gonna do it. And then you just die.
Try and make a play happen in the mid lane as the Cataclysm comes in and locks them all up. Bot tier 2 is gonna fall eventually as the rest of the team collapse in the mid lane. Lightform and Disintegration Ray isn't enough to finish them off. The Janna will die somehow, and that was from the earlier fight, pardon me, as they finally claim bot mid tier 2, mid inhibitor rather.
At this point, if you're Ravenclaw, there's honestly not much you can do.
Yeah.
You just have to sit there and watch your base get taken. This is why you can't even leave to farm.
I could close my eyes, cast this game, and still know how the outcome happens. It's gonna be every fight. Jinx is left completely untouched. She goes for the double, triple, and a penta after that. This is how it's gonna go.
Alright then.
Recalling now, looking to get their next set of items in as they reset up. 601, the MVP of Box Ladies, the captain of the Vietnamese side.
Like double Xayah's gold.
Nothing casual, nothing too weird, just casually doubling the goal.
Yeah, this is fine.
Another day in the office for Bong here.
Yeah, even if you kill the Jinx, you get 700 gold from the bounty at it. Honestly, I still don't think that's enough for Ravenclaw to get back into this game.
There's way too many obstacles for you to get to the point where you can actually kill the Jinx, I think. So
look at the overall goal; it's 12k difference,
and 5k is in the pocket of the AD carry. Oh, fun fact, by the way, you know, the AD carry for Box Ladies is actually a streamer for Box Studios. So she's captaining the team, but she's also a streamer full-time, helping out Box Studios.
Hashtag yes sponsored, go watch out.
Hashtag sponsored.
Hashtag yes sponsored.
Right now, Baron has spawned 40 seconds in. It might not live all too long, as the ladies on the blue side opt to secure vision around this objective.
Yep, so Johnny is aware about this. Honestly, not much he can do, except for maybe a miracle steal, but it's falling so quickly, so Johnny doesn't even have vision on it.
Yeah, down to 4k though, Sejuani has the flash, has the Arctic Assault, has the smite if she wants to go in, but Tidal Wave is going to dissuade her from jumping in, and there you go, secured already. Here comes the Poppy with the home guard rushing in, but it's just for show and just to scare them off as they claim their Baron for themselves and look to walk down mid lane. Tell a lie though, Poppy going in for the fight 1v3. She doesn't know there are two members behind her and she looks to disengage here.
Does it matter?
Keeper's Verdict available, but like you said, it doesn't matter. They don't want to take this fight against the very fed top laner of Box Ladies.
It's not very fair. I mean, there's this point, Poppy... It's not that Poppy is fed, it's that Ravenclaw is underfed.
That is true.
So Poppy is just literally unkillable right now, despite not having that many items.
Because between the top laner of Box Ladies and the mid laner for Ravenclaw, there's a 2.5k gold difference.
Oof.
Yeah, this is, like you said, it's not that she's fed. They are just way too far behind. And Ravenclaw, I don't think they have any way to stem the bleeding right now, as Box Ladies are banging on the Nexus turrets right now. Flashing in is not the option as they look for the final fight. The last stand here, they finally find the support, but they can't get the AD carry. And look at Bong, she's kiting around, she's getting the kills. She already got the first reset, the second. Looking for the third here as the range might come in. The crits might be enough. She gets the third. Finally, the fourth here under the turret, not able to do so as Poppy steals the kill away. The only member left alive is going to be the AD carry, and it's going to be the Poppy that gets the double. Banging onto the Nexus now as Box Ladies find themselves the win. A whole day of wins, in fact, as they finally secured a spot in the finals.
Just patting KDA a little bit at the end. Honestly, I think this might actually be the fastest game we've seen today. Certainly one of the most stompiest. I think Box Ladies really came in here. They knew what they wanted to play and just ran over Ravenclaw.
And if you're the other regions here, the other teams watching Box Ladies play today, you'd be afraid.
You
would question whether you could take them in a best of series because they are looking fearsome today.
Yes.
So far, it's been an exciting day for us. The sun has set here on the FSL office. We were joking about how, it's been a long day, so much so that we'll probably leave when the sun sets. And that being said, we want to thank you guys for tuning in. Shout out to our sponsors once more for providing us with all this gear. You can see on your screen just behind us. Chufan, let's duck behind and do this the Price is Right kind of thing, where we showcase our sponsors.
Screen here.
Yeah. Thank you once more to our sponsors, and for all of you guys that are tuning in to making the FSL such a huge and popular event. Of course, FSL Elite is going to be taking part this year in September, so do stay tuned to our social media pages for any further information. Once again, guys, I've been your caster, Daryl Hungry Cast Lim. Alongside me is Chufan. You can find him on Twitter, Spoots Law. You can find me on Twitter on HungryCast, and stay tuned. We have more matches for you tomorrow. It's going to be starting the same time, 1 p.m, and we will kick it off with some exciting Vietnamese League of Legends. But for now, we'll be going off. Good night.